Start talking to him.
Oh,
Would you like a picture?
a picture? Sure.
Oh no, I'm filming this shit. This is the start of your fucking interview.
Okay, cool. I guess, eh? So you have known Maurice since you were
Yeah.
right?
I've gone back with Maurice, same with Mark from drummer, and we go back a long way. Yeah, no. So we're on tour. We started in Victoria and heading back all the way to New Brunswick. We've got a bazillion shows in bazillion days. It's gonna be really nice to get across. So I'm really looking forward to it.
That's really
Maybe a whirlwind tour off to Saskatoon tomorrow. So get up. Yeah.
You guys drove up here in this van?
We drove up in that van. That thing, like I said, we got it almost up to 45 kilometers an hour downhill in neutral. But it's going to get us across there. So, I got my fingers crossed, and so I got my moccasins on. So let's hoping for good stuff.
I wish I had some moccasins on right now. These things, I mean, they're beautiful. But
I'm going to get a new pair in Winnipeg, though. These ones have got 465,000 miles on them.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it's about time for them to go.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You gotta love good for your moccasins.
Oh jeez, I just can't do without them. So it'll be a great trip. Really looking forward to it, and I'm thankful. It's nice to get back out in the music scene. It's been a long time for everybody, so I hope everybody enjoys it. Right on.
Fucking A, man. Thanks for fucking taking the time, brother.
No problem at all. All right.
Appreciate it.
Time there.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That's Talia's first interview ever with us.
Oh, your first interview?
Yeah.
Cool.
So she's. I didn't.
Be a good one then, because poor people get stuck into these ruts after a while. Where they ask the same stupid.
Well, that's what I mean.
So, what does the name of your band mean? It's a noun, isn't it? I mean, isn't this a university here or something?
Oh my God,
What the hell?
Oh fuck, man. You know what I want to know, honestly? I want to know what you're gonna eat when you go downstairs.
See, these guys do all right.
Yeah.
These guys do pretty good food there.
Oh, definitely. What's your favorite food?
My favorite food? I do like tuna. Tuna's good.
Nice. Do you get like a steak?
Like tuna just barely cooked, and stuff. Yeah. And, cheesecake.
Yeah, because I gotta do a quick lap around.
Who doesn't love fucking cheesecake, right? Shit, I could eat a whole one.
There's a lot of stuff. I eat a lot of cheese. Cheese is good.
Yeah.
My mom always cooked meals from scratch when I was a kid. And she taught me how to cook, so I don't even go into the middle of the grocery stores. I sort of walk around the outside and I look down and whoa, ooh, that's weird down there. What the hell have they got? Is that, and
Somewhere around there.
Okay, well, you want to grab some food and we'll just keep shit going on there?
Yeah, because
All right.
I can blab a little bit.
We'll come and check on you guys and go from there. So, what do you think so far?
So far, so good. I'm not scared. I'm just having conversations with what do you, I don't know, think of me so far. Is it rolling?
Absolutely.
Oh, it absolutely is. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck it. All right then. So, do you mind when your mouth isn't full or when it is full? I don't know. Introducing yourself. Yeah. You need an napkin. You need a napkin. Do we got napkins?
Mark, you like for a minute?
Here's fucking napkins. Here. Oh, yeah. Take them. Okay. You stay there. Okay, sure. I'll be back. Thanks again. I know I've said thank you so many times, but it's much appreciated.
You know, it's all right actually. I get a kick out of doing these things anyway. And I mean, at my age, I'm starting to forget a lot of shit. And just getting asked all these things and keep probing back. I've had a couple of weird ones.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I mean, I guess these guys, some of them were like sort of more mainstream, straight music sort of things, and they asked the weirdest fucking questions. Like, let's see now, if you were stranded on a desert island, you know, and you were only allowed to bring one record, what record would you bring? Well, you know, seeing as and it had some other loaded parts of it, and how would you signal for help and all of this stuff, and I go, I said, well, I think I'd bring the White Album because it's a double album for starters. I'd get 2 records, and then I'd use the cover of the White Album with like a big fucking huge sign on it. Then they had it was something like, and you had some kind of shitty beer too. It was like
Napkins.
Old English. OE 500s or something like that. And I'm like, well, I'd pour it all out on the beach.
You're actually gonna take it out? I'll get
Slice up my White Album cover into little thin things, and I'd say, send beer. Put it in the bottle and then throw it in the water. You know? Okay, we're all good to go here, I guess.
I'm just gonna have my tits sticking out by the beer tub.
Oh, that's
there we go. That's always good.
There we go.
Yeah, no, David really wanted to do this up right for you, right? He's like, you're gonna hire a porn star to come and fucking.
A porn star.
Yeah. Well, he did.
Yeah. I find porn stars kind of intimidating, to be perfectly honest. You know.
Do you find me
I thought, you know, when I was going to start a career in porn, I figured I'd start with child porn.
Oh yeah.
Because that way, you know, they're not so intimidating. You know, your co-star and stuff like that.
God damn it.
And maybe once I got a bit of confidence, I'd start working on those.
And Marxist Murray says that it's some old school values.
Yeah.
That's going back to Roman times. That's pretty old school.
You gentlemen mind introducing yourselves?
Hey, I guess we're the Dayglo abortion. You probably already know that, I think. You had some kind of introduction to this, but this is Blind Mark,
Why, Mark?
and Sketchy the Clown.
Nice to meet you, Sketchy.
Nice to meet you too.
I'm Talia.
Cheers, Talia. I'm that guy that cat dragged in, I think. Something.
You guys are a fucking North American icon in the punk scene. How do you find the scene different now as to like when you got started back in like the 80s?
Well, it's quite a bit different because, I mean, the major thing that happens with these scenes is they become more and more popular and get accepted into the sort of general culture is they become merchandise after a point, at a certain point. I don't know the word. But that's what's happening. You see, a lot of the punk rock, I think, is not actually punk rock. It just sounds like punk rock. And it's been taken on because, you know, it looks like punk rock. They dress like punkers. They dress better than the punkers even, almost, you know.
It looks like ketchup, it tastes like ketchup, but brother, it ain't ketchup. Well, Selma, he makes a good case.
You can tell the difference between a real punker and one of the fashion punker, the Walmart punkers. Because one of them's all neat, you know, they get the band pins, all these bands they've never heard of and stuff. The other one's got like a crooked mohawk, and a green Mac shirt with some band's logo scribbled on the back in Sharpie, and everything is all totally not cool. You know?
Absolutely.
And then that's the real thing, you know. That's about what punk rock when I started it back in the late 70s and stuff like that. That's what it was like. It was all crooked mohawks and goofy looking stuff. Everybody and it was the biggest thing about it was not to be the same as everybody else.
Yeah.
It was all about the individual and celebrating. If somebody showed up in a full burqa, woo, all right, you know. I mean, they were like the star of the night kind of thing, like that. Transgendered person, fucking star of the night. You know, anything doesn't matter. And But nowadays, you have to be like this or that. You know, the crusty ones are the worst. Eh? It's like, oh, is that what brand of dirt do you have on yourself or some shit like that?
You had a shower 8 days ago. You're not cool.
Yeah.
We have one color other than black and or white.
Yeah, it's just filth, actually, that other color. No, actually, the crusty punks got super clean. Did you notice that?
I didn't notice.
They're all like sort of all clean, wearing like fancy clothes and shit, but they got them and they don't tuck their shirts in or something. That's like, you know.
You gotta be really specific. You gotta have the exact same patch pants as everybody else.
So you see that anywhere. This inclusive stuff. You can go too far with the inclusive until the inclusive becomes a big exclusive, you know, which is what's happening here. Yeah. Yeah, I told you guys are gonna have to do some editing in this.
Oh, you know what? You don't know David so well. I don't know how much he is gonna edit.
The problem with the world is right now is that it's just everybody's lost their fucking sense of humor for starters. I mean, all of this shit.
You're not allowed to laugh anymore.
You know, and when the laughter is your only real line of defense against fucking weird, scary shit that's going on in the world.
Yep.
Stuff like that. You know, so fuck it. I figured I've kind of got a license. I'm allowed to say a lot more than most people.
Absolutely.
Can, it seems. So I'm using it. I'm going to find out how much I actually.
Seems like if you can't laugh at yourself, that whole theory is
well, somebody's
blown out of the water.
And, you know, so a little bit of dinner talk. Welcome to dinner talk. I'm your host, Murray. I went to my friend's stand-up comedy show the other night, which is funny. He's paralyzed, so he can't stand up. But he's a sit-down comedian. But and he was really good. But the headline guy was a woke comedian, like fully wide awoke comedian, and he was actually funny.
Yeah.
And I'm going, I didn't think this was possible. I didn't think there was anything funny about these guys. That they canceled all the funny shit, didn't they? You know. Anyways, I'm go laughing around.
No, not at all. Well, you know what you were just saying actually can lead me really well into my next question. Patti Smith said that freedom is the right to write the wrong words. And so what would your definition of freedom be?
That's pretty good, actually. That's a good one, isn't it? I mean,
It is good.
the thing it's really about the you know, that you can think and state, you know, you're allowed to have your own worldview. And I mean, everybody wants basically the same thing. It's just all the right to the pursuit of happiness, to be able to raise their children in a non-threatening environment and
freedom of
you know,
speech, which is gone.
Well, that's the thing is that you know, to have your own worldview and to be able to express it. At the same time, you want to have some manners. I've got no problem with, you know, you don't have to just have a worldview that's just insulting to everybody around you and just obnoxious and that, you know, there's no point. Manners go a long way, you know, really. And all of this stuff of these preferred pronouns and things like that could be avoided if there was just a little bit of manners, you know? You know, it goes both ways, too. People are having complete shit fits because somebody got their preferred pronoun wrong. And they're supposed to guess, you know, they won't even give them a hint as to which one they're supposed to use. And it's sometimes a little vague, you know, possibly. But, and then there's the guy that walks in, he goes, yeah, fucking goddamn this and that. It's, you know, they're all two-way streets, right?
Absolutely.
And you can't guarantee that everything that everybody else thinks is going to be in line with what you're thinking. You've got to have a, you know, to be able to, as Matt said the other day, you know, why don't you just pretend it's a dick and suck it up, man? Buttercup, you know? I mean, you've got to be able to, you know, you've got to be able to appreciate.
When did it ever become wrong to have an opinion?
If, you know, that somebody goes, well, I've got some, this is my theory right here, and there's always saying you've got to follow the science, support the science. Okay, so there's my theory. Yeah. And somebody else comes up and goes, oh, well, I got a little bit of data that I just gathered here that kind of contradicts your theory.
Yeah.
If they go, you Nazi bastard out there, you know.
That's right.
Yeah, you know, it's, gee, wrong answer there. You know, if they go, well, let's see your data, and we'll look at your data and compare it to my data, and we'll see how things pair up. And if you're right, well, you're right then, and we'll modify our theory to suit your, you know, you don't see a lot of that anymore, though, do you? You know, and it's just these. I can't believe that people are so blind to it. Well, yeah, that's the big thing, is to be proven wrong is to learn something.
Absolutely.
You know? And So what those people are essentially saying is, I don't want to learn anything.
Yeah.
I don't care what the reality of the situation is.
I'm right, you're wrong.
Yeah, no, I've got this. It's not even about right or wrong.
Fear changes.
You ask them, they go, oh no, the politicians are all liars.
Yeah.
That's the way they are. That's the way, and it's going, well, if that's the way they are, why don't you fucking fire them? I mean, Jesus
Right.
Christ. It's like BC Telephone, I'm sorry, that wasn't us that disconnected your hydro. That was the computer that did it. Well, fucking fire it then. People are just, it's this, let this technology make all the decisions. Let it just hand it all over to everything. They're going to bring in all of this digital ID and everything for convenience.
There won't be any glitches.
Yeah, for convenience. It couldn't. The government would never abuse the information. Would they?
No, those Neuralink transmitters, nothing can go wrong with those.
It's funny though. I mean, it's like I'm impressed with the skill that they're controlling the public narrative, the narrative and stuff like that. Like, you remember the Occupy Wall Street movement? That scared the crap out of me. Like, there was a lot of people. Every city had it going on, and they sure dismantled that one. It only took them a couple of years. Damn, they have and they're following a very like a formula pattern. You've got to separate people, get their families broken down, get them so they've got really no tight peers or anything like this. Then put some big stressors in there, like maybe a pandemic and maybe some right versus left politics, some good identity politics happening and stuff, and then present them with the cure for their stresses. Yeah. But make it something that only half of them are going to want. Yeah. The other half are going to be opposed to, and then get them to fucking just go at it too. And this is this mass hysteria. Mass hysteria thing.
Well, it's like they call it like PRS, like problem, reaction, solution.
That's that.
They create the problem, and there's a reaction, and then they're like, oh, we got the solution.
It's like Wonder Bros.
It's like, there's too much crime. Okay, how about we bring in martial law and fucking shut everything down? And you guys can't even go out like past 9 o'clock at night.
Now you're getting into the conspiracy theories.
Whatever.
Yeah.
We don't have 4 hours.
It actually happened for a while during COVID. It was like you weren't supposed to be out after 11 p.m.
Oh, I know that. Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Because the virus is the virus. Anytime it comes out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Was there a particular person who influenced your music?
Yeah, there's a few. Yeah. I mean, when I was a kid, definitely John Lennon and Frank Zappa would be the two big ones before punk rock and before the heaviness and everything like that, because of Frank Zappa's sarcasm and social critiquing of the world. There's a lot of my personal philosophy came from Frank Zappa. I'm not as much of a dick as he was, but because he was a little bit hard. He was a bit of a dick when it gets very arrogant, but also very intelligent, and he saw just about all of this stuff coming on and predicted it quite accurately. And John Lennon, the same. John Lennon taught me some big things. And one thing is that you want to get people's attention, you gotta fucking swear. You gotta say things like "woman is the nigger of the world" and shit like that. That horrifies people. And I remember when I was a kid when he said that, everyone was going, "Oh, he's racist. John Lennon's a racist." I'm going, it's got nothing to do with it. He's talking about women, not about black people. This is about women being subjugated.
Rock and roll nigger.
Yeah.
How about you?
I don't know, just music really in general.
Like Mark's an old schooler. He's into his
Murray is influenced me a whole.
Grew up a lot in it.
Absolutely.
Mark's a bit younger than me, but I'm really into all kinds of wacky music myself.
I think all you gentlemen have inspired an awful lot of fucking people yourselves.
Well, it's kind of it's sort of one of the things that you gotta. There's a few things that you should do responsibly. When people start following your shit and stuff like that, and that's to just inspire them to do shit themselves. It's like,
I've been inspired by this motherfucker, and I play other music and stuff like that, but my job here is to honor and pay tribute to what he's created. So that's why I'm here.
That's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, like when I was a kid, when I was like 12, when I first started playing the drums, I used to throw on, like my brother had a tape that had SNFU on one side and Fetus on the other, and that's pretty much how I learned my punk beat, was playing off of that. So when I actually joined the Dayglos to do the US tours, and because Bonehead couldn't get across the border, I already knew how to play all
Yeah.
old shit. I had to fucking learn all the new shit.
Yeah, Mark had to come on tour with us with one. No, not even a practice. Eh?
Yeah, like we
I got
jammed.
good news and bad news, Mark. You're in the Dayglos. Bad news is we're playing in Seattle tomorrow night.
I've never been down to the States myself. You guys like Seattle?
Oh, Seattle's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, my favorite's Texas. Texas is
Yeah.
awesome.
Texas.
They got such good food and so many cool people there. And their bands are kind of like us too. Anyways, they've got this wacky sense of humor and pretty heavy, but not real. They don't sound like an English punk band or something. They sound something completely different. They tend to be really heavy.
Well, I mean, me myself, I've never. I don't fucking profess to be anything I'm not. Honestly, I'm just me, right? And if I had to slap a label on myself, I'd call it goth. You know, that's why I'm here at a punk show in a fucking Sisters of Mercy fucking jacket, you know, and shit. But you know, what was I gonna say?
Which in itself is punk as fuck because it's individual, right? It's not the
Well, that's
same as everybody
different.
else.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was gonna say, there's a lot of fucking really good like goth artists coming out of Mexico and shit. So
Yeah, there is. You know, when I think about it, they've also got the strange avant-garde kind of scene.
Yeah, I heard about this sort of weird, sort of gothy music coming out of Mexico where it's like all kind of about the witchcraft thing and like sacrificing humans.
Yeah.
And stuff.
So the gangsters get really superstitious and they get into all of their trippy weirdness to protect them from this and that and all of that. You get down there. We were down there one time. It's like there was a $50 bounty on the head scalp of a DEA agent.
Holy
Which
shit.
more or less any white guy's scalp
Holy
could be a
fucking
DEA
shit.
agent's scalp, man. I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of that's a little big, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh.
Yeah.
For a
He's going out like that. Yeah.
It'd be a way to go, man.
I got lost that night too, and I lost everybody, and I was wandering around. I finally found the border again. And I had to cross the border by myself. I got no fucking ID or anything on me, and I'm super hammered, and I've been going, okay, so I'm sort of loitering around, and the workers that going into the States, just out of San Diego, they're starting to pile up. And I'm standing there, and all of these really well-dressed people are getting ready to go to work, and I'm just like filthy and drunk, standing there, and this border guard's looking at me kind of thing. He's going, like, what are you fucking doing here? Like this and that. I go, get back in the States. I left my ID in the States. I don't even know how I got here. You know, I just got to get out of here. And and he looks around and he's going, oh, this isn't even the right. You're supposed to be way down there going through a different border thing. He's going, these are all the workers here. He goes, look, just get the fuck through there and get the hell out of here. Just keep out of their way. These people have to go to work, for Christ's sake. They're bothering everybody here.
Yeah, that was the first. That was that same Dr. No trip we played in San Diego.
That's
It was
right.
4 in the morning. They go, let's go to Tijuana.
Yeah. So we got followed around by some gnarly gangsters for a while there, right? 'Cause we get in there at the bar and Chris is throwing money around and ordering drinks and shit, and these guys are just all scoping us out. We left the bar and about 6 or 8 more guys came out just right after us, but we all sort of vaped off there real fast. A couple of exes, handful of kids. Yeah, and all that stuff. Lots of baggage. You see, I keep the
Definitely got a handful of exes, no kids. No, I've dodged that bullet, thankfully.
Not because you did. I got a lot of grandkids even.
Dodge that unpleasantness.
Yeah, I don't know, for me, I mean,
No,
sorry.
they're the life records. No, it's all right. I understand. My kids are grown up now. And they're even worse now that they've grown up. God.
I'm Martin without wake.
The fact that I even say shit like that, you know, the fact that I even say shit like, I think it would ruin my life, is why I shouldn't be a parent, right?
Yeah.
Like, at least I can fucking admit that, you know?
Well, you know,
Like,
some people, I mean, the one thing about the parent thing, it's canned water, yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what it's
That was
for.
a mean trick.
that's water?
Yeah.
Like, it's actually water?
Yeah,
water.
it's canned water, but it's weird tasting.
That's water?
Yeah.
I think you guys have a fucking beer there.
That's what I thought it was too.
Then you're like,
Well,
fucking
if you need a beer,
No,
I bring that over too.
they'll cover some drinks and stuff. These guys are super generous here.
They're amazing.
Like I said, I can't believe I'm saying this because I could fucking sit here and listen to you guys for a long motherfucking time. Stop fucking swearing so much.
Me, I'm not the one that was up on fucking felony charges for obscenities. Anyway.
A punk rock band called Dayglo Abortions has had several hundred of its record albums seized by police at an Ottawa record store. The band's Toronto record manufacturer is charged with distributing obscene material, the first time the charge has been used against a record company.
Holy
Oh, geez, sounds like, oh, they're putting me on the spot there all of a sudden. What the obscenity charges? Well, that's pretty good though, actually. like I'm the one that got busted for insanity. Like maybe, you know.
But hey, that wasn't bad, huh? For my attempt at humor.
You're allowed to talk about Marcus and just go like, and maybe Stevie Wonder over here would.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Don't kid yourself.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
The least handicapped guy.
Oh, he's got the radar, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Now Mark's all over his shit.
So Bobby, who was in the car crash, so don't here.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, Bobby. She's got an 8-year-old daughter.
Oh, she had some questions from the 8-year-old daughter.
Yes, so these are always the ones.
Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, he's not allowed to talk to children. He's got cool. It's like, you know, when you're saying, oh, God, I feel like a kid again. They go, it's just too bad about those court orders.
I still gotta get rid of the last body.
Emma's question gonna make you feel alright. Emma's question is gonna shed some light.
If you were a superhero, what would your name and identity be?
If I was a superhero, I guess I could be like Temper Tantrum Man or something like that. Or, you know, my superpower would be just throwing terrible spaz temper tantrums. Fuck! You know?
Hey,
superheroes, you know, I mean, the whole hero thing is kind of funny anyway, because sometimes shitty people do really good things, you know? And sometimes, you know, and vice versa too. Good people do shitty things. And sometimes, you know, if a person does, you know, a shitty person gets busted for being a shitty person, does that really make everything that they've ever done be shitty because of it? Or do the good things still remain good, you know? Sometimes it might take the shine off of the brotherly love and support thing and everything like that, depending on the circumstances. But this whole concept of canceling stuff that you're, you know, and when you look at the heroes too, heroes tend to be really flawed people in a lot of ways. Eh? You know, they look at the war heroes and things like that, and you find out he was a complete psycho, homicidal maniac back home or something like that. You know, so, you know, the superhero thing, that's kind of a, it's kind of a societal cliche, you know, to keep people thinking, you know, whatever, waiting for their heroes to come in or something. People got to own their own shit, really.
Just be a good person now.
Yeah, you gotta own your stuff. Own your stuff is what it is.
Absolutely.
If you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. You just own it and you admit to it, and you do what you can do to correct it, and you learn from the mistakes.
You can't
You
change
don't
the past.
you don't try and just sort of blame the Republicans for it or something like that, you know. And like this whole world of disingenuity, you know, that's going on right now, where nobody will accept responsibility for any actions. Nobody's being honest. Everybody wants to try and do as little as possible for as much as possible, and just rip everybody off as much as possible, kind of thing. And everybody's doing it, and it's like, fuck, you know, very counterproductive. Just own your mistakes and shit like that, and you can. It's amazing how easy it is to be forgiven for something that you've done, compared to how much energy it's going to expend you to bullshit your way out of it and everything like that, and eventually get busted anyway. You know? So it's fuck the superheroes.
I always say, like, I can deal with absolutely fucking anything. You could tell me the worst news imaginable, and I can deal with that. But I can't deal with lies. I can't deal with bullshit.
Lies and deception are so dangerous. People don't realize that there really is only two basic sins. There's theft, and actually there's only one when it gets down to it, and it's theft, really. And lying is theft of trust.
Absolutely.
You know, murder's theft of life. You know, they're all just.
No, I'm just.
There you go, dude.
Sorry, guys.
No worries. It's your guys' dressing room too, I think. Can't wait to see your outfits tonight.
Hot.
Yeah, no, that's right. My thing is don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal.
Yeah, it was easy. I
very simple.
mean, my family are really honest. That's the one thing that I got. Like generations of almost embarrassingly honest people. Like my dad fucking did his taxes, and he figured that the government gave him back too much money on his tax return, so he sent the fucking money back. Eh? And I'm like, you know, Dad, there's a limit to this honesty or stuff like this. But no, and it's the respect that he got because of this stuff and everything like this. Like there was a guy, this like 30 years ago in the Navy base in Esquimalt where he worked, and I worked in the base too, and he was an electronics tech there. But there was a guy that got a sex change 30 years ago, eh? And he was in my dad's office, and my dad was very uncomfortable with this. He's old school Saskatchewan guy, you know, not really getting his head around that at all. And the guy's, you know, his boyfriend that had talked him into it and all of this stuff ditched the guy. As soon as he got out and looked at him, he goes, God, you made an ugly woman? He's out of here. Eh? And I was like 40. He made a terrible woman. Eh? But he was going to work, and my dad defended that dude's fucking, because my dad was responsible for the workers' rights and things like that. And he defended that guy right to the limit. Eh? And I wasn't like, I thought my old man was a bit of a dick, you know, he's too conservative. When I saw him do that, I realized, fuck, he's got this thing that he knows what right is, and he's got no problem sticking to it, you know. Oh, I tell you, man, walking around in that place after he had retired and everything like that, people would come up to you and go, oh, you're a kid, aren't you? And I go, yeah. He goes, you know, your old man saved my fucking career and my whole thing and everything. Multiple people said that to me, and I was like, that's all right. I wish he was like that with me. A couple of my friends got scooped up by a genuine predator, and that got me really uptight. Then a friend of mine fucking gets picked up, like actually my best friend, pretty well, the guy who played the original drummer of Dayglo, gets picked up hitchhiking by an old guy. And he tells me about it, and it's sort of, and I'm listening to it. He's invited us over for dinner at his house. You want to come with me? And I go, okay, yeah, I'll come. And I went over there with the intention of fucking taking a baseball bat to the guy. Right? And within about 5 minutes, the guy's fucking totally won me over. It was really fucking funny and witty and weird and just queer as a $3 bill, eh? Which is, you gotta be nervous. This is like in the 70s, eh? And I was a typical homophobic teenager.
Yeah.
But this guy, he became, I mean, he was in love with the fucking bonehead, the drummer guy and everything like this, but he wasn't a predator. Right? He was, if anything, he was getting abused. It was him that was getting abused. Right? I mean, he had half a dozen kids were just blackmailing money out of him and everything like this. Eh? But I mean, his sexual desires were maybe a little bit off the wall there and stuff like that, but he wasn't doing it in any malicious way. He wasn't hunting down, and he was paying the kids dearly for it as well. And they were like 17, 18-year-olds and shit like this, you know. But this guy became essentially my mentor, really, in a lot of ways. He taught me a whole bunch of things. He taught me how to fucking just put down all of these preconceptions about people and stuff like that, and how to really just give anybody, you know, it's not, you know, and I, you know, whatever fucking floats your boat, go for it, you know, as long as you're not injuring and attacking people and, you know, and causing problems with it, you know, not squirting it all over us, you know, maybe the privacy of your bedroom might be a good place. Consenting adults is kind of a good idea, you know, the basics. But apart from that, you know, I mean, it's all, and, you know, you look at this whole thing of this critical race theory and stuff, it's not about equality or anything like that. It's about revenge. You know, it's actually about turning one group on another group. This is like the exact precursors to the Cultural Revolution in China and stuff like that. Eh? That's why Putin was going, you know, this, you guys in your critical race here, because I've seen this before. Eh? Think Russia.
Yeah.
Pre-revolution Russia, you know, and look at how many people died there. Right? Because when you get, and I know I worked with a woman who was part of the Cultural Revolution in China. She was the leader of it in her university, and they killed all of their teachers and ate their brains. And I mean, this all came out and everything like this, and I talked to her about it, and she said, you know, these things happen so fast. She said. It's, you know, things are going this way. Before you know it, all of a sudden you're eating your teacher's brains, kind of thing like this. And it's, everything just goes in little steps. It's not like it was just all of a sudden like that. It's this wave, and it's moving really fast, and they're quite convinced that they're right. It's mass hysteria. And that's what they're working on right now, is with this mass hysteria stuff, is they're getting groups of people where just regular, normal people will commit atrocities. Yeah. You know, because you didn't get vaccinated, or you did get vaccinated, or whatever the lame reason is. You know, there's a time is gonna come when their fucking heads are on poles and stuff like this, you know, and and horrifying shit that you just can't, you can't say that any rational reason for this behavior because there isn't. But it seemed perfectly logical to me at the time.
I was going to say it's history that's repeating itself.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, you guys gotta
it's
run
a lot easier to repeat when you canceled all of the stuff that happened before. Too.
I just need this for myself. I'm finally talking to Murray. So fuck you all.
Leave me give him a couple hours and he'll be like, holy fuck, my ears are all worn out.
I know, man. Fuck. Okay, you got shit to do, man. We'll get the fuck out of your way.
Matt,
Sure.
thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm glad
Thank
you
you
so
so much, man. Yeah, it's good. Thank you for doing the time.
It's kind of like a new sort of a whole new thing.
But you know what? I gotta say now, this is my one time. I'm gonna just be a fanboy, Crystal. I told you I wouldn't for a second, but one fucking time.
I'm gonna go outside and have a smoke.
Okay.
I just can't stomach listening to this.
No, it ain't that fucking bad.
Let me know when you're finished. Let me know when you're finished.
No, and actually, it's with the show. When I first envisioned like the opening, I wanted one of your songs to listen to, and then I was sitting there like, well, fuck, you know what? The worst that's gonna happen is to say no. And then you're like, yeah, fuck, have at it.
It's kind of like the artist's responsibility to culture the various aspects of their scene, or it's in their best interest in anyway, And I don't get these people get all uptight about, well, that's copyrighted material, or that's this or that, or whatever, That's ridiculous because who are you working for? Are you working for your record company, or are you working for yourself?
Yeah.
Our record company are just friends of ours and stuff like that. So we're all working for stuff together.
I'll leave you to it.
Yeah, no worries, man. Keep going.
But it means.
Give me a call. You know how to get a hold of me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But this was so wonderful, man. Your contributions. Are you a huggy person? I give you a hug.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, her, anyways, not me.
That's all the way. After 2 years of isolation, oh my God.
Hey, buddy. So that brings me to my first talking point. You see guys like my fucking bros in the Jackson, Edmonton, the way they got the community they built up and stuff like that, that's the way to fucking deal with these people. You get a fucking community of your own,